What's up everyone, Soldier First Class here, and today's mission, we've got a Final Fantasy XVI update, and this time we've got some new information about the PC version, and producer Naoki Yoshida giving us a window that we can expect news for the game. There's an event I have in mind that I think will be where we get some new information, but of course this is just speculation. At the PlayStation 5 price reveal event, Sony got the show started with a bang, showing off a 4-minute long Final Fantasy XVI reveal trailer. While we didn't get a release date on the game, Naoki Yoshida admitted his involvement in the project for the first time, but only as a producer. This came after years of myself and some of my fellow content creators digging into every bit of information we could about his secret project. Yoshida, as recently as this year even, denied that he had anything to do with Final Fantasy XVI. Admittedly, after the 16 announcement, I immediately resubbed to 14 and I've been playing almost non-stop since. That being said, Naoki Yoshida gave us a quick update via Twitter, but also via the official PlayStation blog. Yoshida stated, Final Fantasy XVI producer, that's right, just producer, Naoki Yoshida here. How did you enjoy the trailer? The exclusive footage comprised of both battle and cutscenes running in real time represents but a fraction of what our team has accomplished since the start of development on this, an all-new Final Fantasy game. In that span, the team's size has grown from a handful of core members to a full-fledged unit that continues to polish and build upon what they've created so far, all to provide players an experience unmatched in terms of story and gameplay. What's really encouraging about this is that we got an entire 4 minutes of story and gameplay footage, which by modern standards is kind of a big deal. And for Yoshi P to say that we only saw a fraction of what they've done, I honestly believe that the release date for Final Fantasy XVI is coming much sooner than we think. Now, I am going to say that this is wishful thinking, but the end of 2021 is a possibility depending on how the rest of development goes. But I would say mid-2022 to late 2022 is probably more of a likely window. He also went on to say, our next big information reveal is scheduled for 2021, so in the meantime, I expect everyone to have fun speculating as we have a lot in store, not only for Final Fantasy XVI, but for Final Fantasy XIV too. Needless to say, I'll be working hard on both. So the question becomes, where could we be seeing news for Final Fantasy XVI and, in extension, Final Fantasy XIV? Typically, when Yoshida has something to announce for Final Fantasy XIV, he does so at FanFest, Final Fantasy XIV's biggest fan event of the year. At this event, he's previously revealed new jobs and races for the game, and has built an extremely close relationship with fans and players from around the world. Yoshida loves his community, and this seems like the perfect place for him to do so with reveals. Unfortunately, the North American and Japanese leg of the tour has been cancelled, but those were in 2020 anyway. However, the dates for the European leg of the tour fall on February 20th and the 21st of 2021, barring any suspensions of the event. If I had to guess, I'd say we can look for information to be revealed there with a new trailer or possibly some release date news. We might also be getting word on a new expansion for 14, as that announcement is about due after the latest expansion, Shadowbringers, was announced 2 years ago. Final Fantasy XVI director Hiroshi Takai also made a statement about the development process for Final Fantasy XVI. He stated, from the establishment of an all-new development environment to learning the ins and outs of the PlayStation 5, the team and I have taken on countless challenges during our journey to bring you the 16th chapter in the storied Final Fantasy franchise. And though we're pouring our hearts and souls into this project each and every day, it may still be some time before we can get it into your hands. However, I promise it will be worth the wait. I'm honestly really excited that these two are pairing up for Final Fantasy XVI, especially after their work together on 14. With these two, Ryota Suzuki on the combat and Kazutoyo Mihiro writing, this game already has a powerhouse development team and environment. 14 is a massive success, and Square obviously trusts Yoshida with yet another entry into their flagship franchise. However, we do have one last bit of news for the video, and that's about the PC version of Final Fantasy XVI. When the trailer aired on the PlayStation 5 livestream, the ending of the trailer had small text at the bottom that stated the game was also coming to PC. This isn't unusual for Square titles, as Final Fantasy XV received the Windows edition 2 years after launch, and it's expected that Final Fantasy VII Remake will also receive a PC version. But what's odd about this is that Square is seemingly backpedaled on this. Several news sites have reported on the game getting a PC version, with IGN even being told by Square Enix to strike any record of a PC version from their original article. Square Enix released a statement that we have no further information on if Final Fantasy XVI will be released on platforms other than the PS5. The PC version caption has also been removed from all official versions of the reveal trailer. We also saw with Final Fantasy VII Remake that they denied any type of cross-platform releases, but then later revealed the game would be a timed exclusive for 1 year. So if that's anything to go by, I'd say a PC version is still a pretty safe bet. That being said, also keep in mind that unless it's officially coming from Square Enix, take it with a grain of salt. But it also wouldn't be the first time they've let things like this slip. Maybe Yoshida's 2021 news will have something to do with that as well. Overall, Yoshi P was definitely my first choice to direct Final Fantasy XVI, but I'm happy that he's at least taking up the role of producer on it. I'm sure he'll be a very hands-on producer, but I don't think Final Fantasy XIV players have anything to worry about. I do think Hiroshi Takai is a really good choice for director, and their ability to work efficiently together will make all the difference. Yoshida is very efficient and has his teams running very efficiently, so I think a little faith in the project is very warranted. We all make the "it's not coming out for 10 years" jokes, but honestly, I don't see that being the case here. Yoshida turned 14 around in the span of under 3 years and made it one of, if not the best MMO on the market, and continues to see even more success with each expansion. So what do you think, soldiers? What release date do you think Final Fantasy XVI will have, and will there be a PC version? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to omni-slash that like button. Let me know in the comments section below if you're excited for Final Fantasy XVI news and more information about the latest going on with Final Fantasy XIV. Subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell to join the ranks of Soldier today. And for all the latest Final Fantasy XVI news, rumors, and trailers, I'm Soldier First Class, and I'm on to the next mission. Later, guys.